Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. It's High Priestess week, Scorpio. That seems almost like it's Scorpio week. Kind of, isn't it? Yeah. So to start off the reading, we're going to get a card for you from my Witch's Oracle deck. This is the Witch's Oracle deck that I use. I like to show the book, because there are a few that are literally called the Witch's Oracle. So if you look it up, that's the one that I'm using here. It comes with a nice incantation as well. The fun part is I'm going to pull out the cards, see what message comes out with the Witch's Oracle. And then at the end of the reading, I'm going to go into the book and read you the information about the card and give you the incantation. You, of course, can fast forward if you really want to. Oh, there's more than just this, though. So I'm going to use the Angelarium deck. I'm going to use the Heaven and Earth Tarot and the Teeny Tiny Everyday Witch to ask the following in this High Priestess week reading. What is your superpower? Your greatest strength right now, or maybe all the time? What is your kryptonite? Your real full-on weakness? What is your nemesis? This is something that comes around, usually at the worst time possible, but it seems to happen on a regular basis. And the thing is, the nemesis makes you stronger, though. It kind of helps you. It pushes you in a way that feels uncomfortable, that you end up realizing, wow, I could do it, or look at what I did. And you wouldn't have done it likely to that extent or with that success if it hadn't been for the nemesis energy appearing. And then the final question will be, what is your next assignment? So we're going to start, like I said, with the Witch's Oracle. What do we have for my Scorps? My naughty with a touch of nice. All right, Scorpio. Witch's Oracle for Scorpio. A very witchy card for Scorps. Ooh, the Chalice. I'm immediately drawn to the flower on the side of the cup, and it's reminding me of like a flower sitting off on the side in somebody's hair. Something here to do with dressing up, smelling nice, a special event. I'm hearing all of that and seeing it. Like I'm seeing someone, but it's dressed up in almost like a casual way. You know what it is? Okay, it literally looks like somebody, on a beach somewhere. It's almost like a destination wedding is what I'm getting with this. So I don't know if you're going on a destination wedding, or you're going to have one yourself or be invited to one. It's kind of like that. Or maybe you're going to go on a trip somewhere, and you bring different types of clothes, lots of it probably casual, but then the odd outfit that's a little bit dressier for like a nice dinner. It was just like this big, profound High Priestess. Well, you know what? You're going to go on a nice little vacation. You're going to dress up one night. The Witch and the Owl. Isn't that interesting? The Witch and the Owl is your underline. So it's fascinating, because I'm looking at that and it's similar to someone else who had, it was like the witch and the cauldron, or the witch and it was like a tool. And I want to get it. It's almost like, but the owl uses the witch and the witch uses the owl. Like there's a symbiotic relationship here. And these two come together, and it is almost like, a tool in your toolbox of life. So that's interesting. There could even be, this Chalice is also coming up like an Ace of Cups for me. The Chalice is also the feminine, renewal, owl owl and witch. The owl has come to tell the witch about a cycle change. I'm just hearing that. The owl is coming to tell the witch about a cycle change. So there's, I know, and then you have the Ace of Cups, so that's interesting. That would be like a new beginning of some sort. So a cycle change. And a cycle change, though, just the way I even described it, it feels kind of like nice and like vacation-y. So it just has a really good feeling about it. And it feels fresh. Like I was immediately picking up like the smell of like coconut oil, not eucalyptus. Oh no, it's not eucalyptus. It's I can't think of it. It's a very fragrant flower. So I don't know what this is. It smells good. It feels good. It's really good. All right then, Cindy. Well, thank you for that very deep and informative reading. I'll roll a little bit deeper over here. I don't know. That's what I'm picking up with that. It's really interesting. You know, I mean, it could even be something too. Like you could go on a little vacation, be walking down the beach, and you witness like a destination wedding or something like that. Or I don't know. It's just a nice moment. Like the whole thing about it feels really nice. Nothing is too overpowering. Like it's not too hot. It's not too, the wind off the ocean's not too cold. It's, the scents are just perfect. Like it's something that's just perfect about that. Some sort of experience for you. All right, let's get into the down and dirty stuff now, Scorpio. The Angelarium is going to really bring it to us here. Your superpower, your kryptonite, your nemesis, and your next assignment, Scorpio. Your superpower, left leg submission. Now, the thing that I get with that immediately, I was seeing, is somebody like kneeling down on one leg, like almost being knighted. Like submitting yourself to something of more authority and being like knighted. Left leg submission. So it is like showing respect to something of some sort of a higher entity, something. But you're being knighted. Submission. I want to say that there's something that you've done. Like, how would I describe it? You know, like let's say you're, I don't know, like in a discussion with someone and you submit to their way of seeing something, or like there's a part of you that puts yourself in a way I would describe a little bit vulnerable, right? Because when one kneels down in front of a king or a queen or whoever, and that person is holding a sword, like you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position as well. But you're showing like a sign of respect, and this is paid back to you. So there's somehow here you've shown some sort of a sign of respect, submitted to something, but in doing so you are knighted. So it's a way like you are blessed. Oh, that is like this is a blessing. Your kryptonite, your full-on weakness here, the angel of death. Wow. Oh, fascinating. Because it's like the death card. It's your card. Death and rebirth. I think that's really interesting because I'm just going to say, one of the things that I've picked up on with other zodiac signs is that the major arcana card that represents them is not the energy that I feel like they are naturally born into and know how to navigate it 100% effectively without developing some experience here. So I really feel like the major arcana that represents each zodiac sign, it's like what you're perfecting in this lifetime. And when you perfect it, it's like, it's amazing. So you could be close to perfecting something too, like allowing major things to end in your life, the pain of this as well. But it's, you will be blessed, like you will be blessed with this. I've seen all these beautiful flowers on the water. There's also something here about, because I'm seeing beautiful flowers on the water, and I'm also seeing like some sort of celebration of life. Like you will be blessed in the afterlife. I don't know what you submitted to, but you will be blessed in the afterlife. Even if you've submitted to some things, you've submitted to an ending, there is a blessing of renewal here for your soul. You have accomplished some sort of major and difficult kind of karmic lesson for your soul. But I mean, when it's your kryptonite, it feels like the worst thing ever. It's a thing that you would avoid. But being Scorpio, you're going to experience these big, I want to say even sometimes feeling catastrophic endings. To have these rebirths. The rebirth is the blessing. This in particular is a blessing. I'm really picking up a blessing here for you. Now your nemesis. I also want to say the death card feels like a bit of a nemesis too. So that's difficult if your nemesis is something that is also your kryptonite. It's like if you're, the superhero and you're Superman and you're battling and your nemesis comes, he's always got like a kryptonite gloves or something. As I was saying, Scorpio, it's almost like you're Superman and your villain, the villain comes by and he's always got the kryptonite gloves. Man, it is. Wow. It's almost like when you, so I want to say too, when you're experiencing major and difficult endings in your life, it's almost like the worst timing. That's what that feels like too, like the worst timing. So the nemesis, what is the nemesis? Angel of Heralds. What was I telling you? I feel like you're getting a blessing here. You're going to be receiving a beautiful blessing. So this blessing could be coming in the form of some form of a notification, like a very, three-dimensional human society heralding. Like it could be some sort of a written notice. It could be an invitation. I'm just really picking up the energy here, Scorpio, of like I'm seeing the wheel of fortune turn for you. I'm seeing the wheel of fortune turning for you and really getting there. I don't know what this is that you submitted to, but it's your greatest strength right now. What's your next assignment? The Angel of Song. Hark the herald angels sing. Right? Isn't that funny? The Angel of Song. I'm telling you, like something, there's some sort of information coming to you that's really wonderful and beautiful. I'm really picking up a very positive cycle for you. But it's because of something very difficult that you've done. And perhaps even just submitted to the universe. I want to say too, because what's also coming up here is I'm thinking of sort of the very kind of archaic or old way of looking at kings and queens. That they were appointed by God, right? So it's almost like that. Like it is, there's something you're like, you've submitted yourself in some way to the will of the universe. And this will is likely like where you feel a major ending in yourself, a major ending in things around you. And it's not easy in the least, which is unusual too, because reading for Scorpio for a while, you guys are, I feel like you're always in and out of like death and rebirth. Death and rebirth comes up a lot in Scorpio, but I don't know if this is one that's quite significant to you more than others have been in the cycle of life here. Angel of verdancy, angel of snow, angel of new life, connection, everything's in the upright. Oh, the verdancy, like this is really lush, very lush. And it's kind of funny, right? Because right behind it is snow. There's a huge change. It's like you go from winter and you full on skip spring. Welcome to most parts of Canada lately. Are you just like in this really very growth driven cycle, but it feels good. Everything about it feels good. You might even second guess it. No. See what the tarot says. But angel, I want to say too, your next angel of song is embracing like music, dancing, singing. I don't know, some of you could be going on some sort of a party in the tropics. Maybe some of you live in tropical areas, and you're gonna have a party. One more. Deck shuffled nicely. It hasn't done that in a while. Look at that. See, there's a shift. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a card to go with Chalice. And then I'm gonna put 2 for each of these areas here. For Scorpio, the Chalice, which is coming up, is a very fragrant Ace of Cups. Like rose water. Rose is not the flower. Oh, I'm hearing chrysanthemum. It's weird. I don't know if that's a flower that's not what I'm smelling. But it is like rose water, like it's almost like the sweetness, like the water is just, it's touched with a natural sweetness somehow. Hello, the King of Wands. It's warm, it's sunny, it's fiery, it's passionate. It's a driving force, but the driving force of this is just like, it's like rose water. It could even be like, because we have a court card, there could be a specific person associated with this chalice, with what feels like an Ace of Cups for you. Someone who, if they're not like a fire sign or have it in a very significant placement for themselves, I want to say that this person is just really driven. They're very driven. They're very creative. They're an explorer. I'm getting that too. They're an explorer of life. This could even be the cycle that like you're going into. You're going to be embracing the embodiment of that energy. Your superpower is submission. Wow. The 5 of Swords, defeat. And the 7 of Cups. Wow. I mean, this is like cutting some stuff out of your life, or having some things cut out of your life. Because submitting to something feels like things could have been cut out of your life. And then you're left with the 7 of Cups. You may not even know why. It doesn't even make sense. But you just submit to it. But that's your superpower. So in some ways, it is almost like just God, the universe, just saying, this needs to come out of your life. You may not understand why, but if you just have faith here, you will receive a blessing. But I want to say that you probably don't hear the last part. It's just because if you heard the last part, you go, oh, okay, God, I'll do it then. There's no challenge in that, right? But your kryptonite is the angel of death, painful. So it feels like you may feel even a period of weakness, a period like obviously maybe even of sadness, because this really just feels like submitting to some sort of ending, and it just doesn't make any sense to you. Your kryptonite, well, the 10 of Cups and the Fool. Some of you could be ending something here. Something I want to say that made you very happy. Something that made you very happy. It could have been a family connection. It could have been a specific connection with a friend. But there's definitely something here that it looks like it got cut out, or maybe even you cut it out, and you just don't know why it would end up like this. Like, why did it have to go this way? There's definitely, because now you're starting all over again with the Fool. Nothing from the past comes forward with you. But yet you have an Ace of Cups showing up here. Like, and that would be a beautiful beginning if you're closing off a 10 of Cups. You're a nemesis, but it makes you stronger. It could be some, this could even actually be, because it's nemesis, it never really feels great. But boy, you get stronger, honey. So the nemesis could even be associated to some sort of message, information about whatever this ending is. Could be even details. The Queen of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. You know, it's funny. Very early on, I said I didn't quite develop what I was starting to say about. It's almost like if there was an argument or a disagreement with someone. I think I started saying that, or did I just formulate it in my mind? Because I don't think I developed that fully, but it's sitting here. It's sitting here in the nemesis. So there's something here with the Queen of Pentacles. There could be a disagreement about how you want to run your business. There could be a disagreement about how you want to run your household. There could be a disagreement about how you parent. There could be a disagreement about how to look after aging parents with siblings. Anything to do with the Queen of Pentacles to me could have like a lot of that. I'm really picking up Virgo energy too. I'm actually seeing both Virgo and Cancer. So it feels like home. It feels like home. It feels like service to others. There's like, with the 5 of Wands, there's a conflict here. There's conflicting interests. Maybe that's what the universe wants you to know. There's conflicting interests here, and something that breaks down, something that is removed. You may even end some things and have no idea if you'll pick that energy up again. I mean, you're looking at a 10 of Cups here. But it's because your superpower is also the big question mark. Because there's adventure in finding things that you've lost, things that you've moved away from, like finding, I guess, new examples of these experiences. The King of Wands is very adventurous. Your next assignment is the Angel of Song. Wow, the Knight of Cups. The Ace of Wands. Oh, that's actually feeling very romantic. So taking on a sort of a romantic appeal about life. playing songs that inspire you, make you feel hopeful with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. The Two of Swords and the Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords. Is that the four? Yeah, that's the four. Oh, that's interesting. What does that say? That says, oh shit. It doesn't say oh shit. That means Cindy needs to put her glasses on. It's hard because it's cursive and it's a funny rest from strife. This is strife. Your nemesis, you're resting from your strife. You're resting from conflict. Underline here. The Ace of Cups, there's that Chalice. And the Two of Swords, peace. I know, you're really going into, like, it's a cycle change here. There's conflict, there's endings. I want to say, I'm even hearing the word bitter loss with Angel of Death, Ten of Cups, the Fool. And in that, like, what is your next assignment is actually really beautiful. The Angel of Song. It's almost like calling in a new cycle, calling in a new day. And this is with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. It's just such a beautiful, inspiring energy. And here, as you rest from your strife and find peace, there's actually no need to move forward just yet. The King of Wands, at some point, there might be something. It couldn't, where was I putting it? Put that down low. That's weird. Put it on the down low. Maybe you're going to be on the down low with things. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to hide it. It's a weird thing to do. I don't think I've ever done that with any of my cards in a reading. Very scorpionic. Hide this. Hide that you're resting from strife, healing. King of Wands with the Ace of Cups. Oh, the Emperor. Damn, you're really in charge here. You're in charge and living large. In a very nice, flowing way. Your superpower. Submitting to loss and illusion. Submitting to loss and illusion. Temperance. Wow, and really sitting. Like submitting to loss and illusion and sitting in it. Biding your time. Wow. Some of you have already been through something that's been removed, something that there was really no other way around it. You had to accept some sort of defeat here. And then walk through the illusion, walk through the mystery, having no idea if perhaps you would find success in submitting to this defeat. But what you find in it is balance. That's tricky. That's I want to say that's very developed use of energy, and that's your superpower. Your kryptonite. The Angel of Death, perfected success into the Fool. Having perfected something and almost in a way realized, well, there's nowhere else to go but down. Once you've perfected it, there's nothing more you can do. So you start all over again. The Angel of Death, perfected success. The Ten of Cups, wow. The Fool. The Devil. The Lovers. The Three of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Working through something very difficult here. With involving, again, people that you're very close with, people or a person or a group that you're very close with here. But this ends up, look at, on either side of this is coercion, deceit, manipulation, followed by perhaps mind and emotional games with the Three of Swords. Obviously, pain, sadness, heartache, loss. But the Knight of Swords just charges out of that. Just charging out of it. Your nemesis, Angel of Heralds, the Queen of Pentacles and Strife. Yeah, there's something that you encounter more often than not. There's something unique about you that maybe ruffles some feathers in regards to traditional ways of doing and seeing things. The Queen of Pentacles and strife. The Hermit. Oh, and the Five of Swords. I want to say for some of you, this is cutting something out emotionally that was already kind of cut out physically. Like the process of that. Or cutting something out physically that you had already cut out emotionally. There's something playing out on that with that. And I feel like it's showing up in the Death card here. So there's something that you've either already cut out emotionally, and then there's something that, you know, like going to a workspace or something, or hanging out with a friend group. I'm just not invested in this anymore in any way. But you still have to kind of show up, right? But then it's like the showing up part gets cut out. So it's either that, or I feel like for some others of you, it's vice versa. Like where you've cut this out physically, but it still bothers you emotionally. You know, like you still kind of hang on to it. You still think about it. It still ruminates in you. But then you manage to finally just eliminate that. So it's kind of, it's like one is catching up to the other here. Involving some sort of conflict here about, and maybe even something that was spoken. About tradition, family, work. Your next assignment's really nice, though. Let's just go there. The Angel of Song, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. The Eight of Cups. But you walked away. Like I'm getting like you walked away from something emotionally. So you are, and you're walking towards something new emotionally. It's so nice. I just feel like the air is fresh. It smells really nice. I don't know what this environment is. I don't know if it's an environment where you're going to experience something significant. There could be a song playing for you. I'm going to get to, with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands, you could feel aroused by this. Like, it's almost like the two of these cards with this flower sitting on the edge of the chalice, and just the way, is it smoke? Is it fire? What's coming off of the top of her head? And a song, like I'm thinking of pheromones, because pheromones are sort of like the insect world. Well, even not just the insect world, like a big part of the world's you know, come hither. And songs are kind of like that. It's like it's a very fair, your next new assignment is like very pheromone like. So I feel like it speaks to you instinctively. It triggers things uncontrollably. And it feels really good. So you have the Two of Wands at the bottom, that's it. But don't go anywhere. Even that is picking up like a pheromone. It's pulling something in, the scent of something. Oh yeah, so get lost in this energy. The Chalice card. Shall we? Shall we? The Chalice. So I'm going to read to you, there's a little bit of history about Chalice. It's very tiny. The meaning, and then we're going to get to the incantation. The Chalice. The fourth of the major tools of magic is the Chalice. This vessel may be used for everyday drinking, but is usually reserved for occasions when it is felt necessary to pour libations to the gods, or similar ritual use. A chalice can serve multiple purposes. It can be used as a focal point for meditation, and when you hold a chalice in both hands at eye level, it creates an atmosphere of magic. Meaning, chalices are filled with liquid. Liquid holds no shape and is in a constant state of change. That's very symbolic of birth and death and rebirth. Emotions are like water and are constantly changing from moment to moment. Emotionally, you've been sloshing around and coming very close to spilling over. It's time to steady yourself so that you can carry on and do all the things that need to be done. I don't know what needs to be done, but it feels really nice. Maybe it's like calming your waters, putting some sweet scent into your emotions here. Okay, the incantation. I always say that the incantation is best if you state it 3 times, but for sake of time, I'm just going to say it once, as long as I get it right the first time. So here you go. Here's your incantation. Both feet planted on the ground. There's no need to flop around. Calm and balanced will be the way to welcome in each brand new day. Oh, there you go. A brand new day. I'm really feeling like that for you, Scorpio. It definitely is a brand new day. I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to look at what from your past still pulls on you, what from your future is trying to push you forward, how this push and pull affects you, and what you can do to allow all things to flow freely. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Until next time, to be gentle with yourselves. Bye.